Now, guys, I'm going to give it a few minutes. I'm about 3 minutes early. Hello, hello. On my 5x5. Hey, Bug Dude, how are you? I'm going to give it another minute or two, see if anybody else comes in. Got quite a few things to talk about today. Well, actually, it's all the same topic, but, several different articles. I'm good, thanks for asking. I actually went on a Dollar Tree prepping haul today. I I decided to get my daughter and son-in-law stuff for bug out bags for Christmas. Excuse me. All right, we're gonna be talking about Russia and the Ukraine today. I know everybody's probably tired of hearing me harp about it, but God's laid it on my heart that we really and truly need to watch what's going on over there. I, I, I'm not one for premonitions. I've told y'all this. Um, it's just a gut feeling, and I've learned the hard way. Always trust your gut, but when you lose sleep over something, you need to learn to listen. All right, this comes from Al Jazeera, the English version. How real is the threat of a Russian invasion of Ukraine? Experts are divided on whether Moscow is planning an imminent incursion or merely posturing to win geopolitical sway. Kiev, or Kiev, however you want to say it, Ukraine. As early as January, the Kremlin may unleash a brief and victorious war on Ukraine. A top military expert has told Al Jazeera as world leaders and international bodies weigh the possibility of such conflict. Russian President Vladimir Putin wants his troops to reach the Dnieper River that dissects Ukraine, sees a land corridor to annexed Crimea, and ensure the resumption of water supply to the arid peninsula that was cut off in 2014, causing a chronic drought, said Ihar Ramenko, a retired lieutenant general and Ukraine's former deputy chief of staff. The Blitzkrieg will not just involve tens of thousands of Russian servicemen currently deployed to the border with Ukraine, which is east of the capital Kyiv, and to Crimea, which is south of mainland Ukraine, he said. It may include an invasion of Russian troops from Moscow, friendly Belarus, which is north of Kyiv, and Transnistria, a breakaway pro-Moscow Moldavan region stretches across Ukraine's southwestern border, he said. The most effective way to begin military action from all sides simultaneously, Ramenko told Al Jazeera. Ukrainian officials say that Russia amassed up to 115,000 troops. Sorry, I got distracted. I had a squirrel moment. According to Romanko, there could also be domestic provocations that involve disgruntled oligarchs, pro-Kremlin politicians, and a sizable number of Russian-speaking Ukrainians in Ukraine's east and south, while Moscow stops the supply of natural gas that heats almost every Ukrainian house and apartment building. I honestly believe in which I can't remember what the Russians call it, but it's basically the same as Secretary of State has said that the Russians has the means to, or is willing to shoot down the NATO satellites, which controls our GPS. Guys, we lose that, we're in a world of hurt. U.S. officials' phones hacked with NSO group spyware, Reuters had said, but this is still on Al Jazeera. The phone of at least 9 U.S. State Department employees were hacked by NSO group spyware, the news agency reports. The phones of at least 9 U.S. State Department employees were hacked using Israeli firm NSO Group's spyware. The Reuters news agency has reported, citing 4 unnamed sources familiar with the matter. The hacking targeted the Apple-made iPhones of U.S. officials based in Uganda are working on issues related to the country, Reuters reported on Friday. And the news agency said it could not determine who launched the cyber attacks. The Washington Post confirmed Reuters reporting later on Friday, saying Apple had informed 11 U.S. officials that their phones were hacked. The Israeli firm sparked outrage earlier this year after an investigation by international media outlets revealed that its Pegasus software was used by security forces and authoritarian governments against journalists and activists in several countries. NSO says it works with law enforcement agencies to track criminals and terrorists. I don't know why they want to, do something that's traceable back to them. And which I know the U.S. does the exact same thing, the, ABC bureaus. Biden says he is crafting a plan for Russia and Ukraine crisis. Oh, Lord, we in trouble with just that one sentence. Lord, they letting old potato head be in charge of something. December 3rd, Reuters, U.S. President Joe Biden said on Friday he is developing comprehensive initiatives to make it difficult for Russian President Vladimir Putin to invade Ukraine, as the two leaders prepared for talks. A call between the two is anticipated in days as officials fear a simmering conflict in eastern Ukraine could erupt into open war. Ukraine's defense minister, Oleksiy Reznikov, citing intelligence reports, warned earlier on Friday that Russia has placed more than 94,000 troops near Ukraine's borders and may be gearing up for a large-scale military offensive at the end of January. What I am doing is putting together what I believe to be the most comprehensive and meaningful set of initiatives to make it very, very difficult for Mr. Putin to go ahead and do what people are worried he's going to do, Potato Head said without going into detail. He told reporters that his administration had been in constant contact with Ukraine and European allies about the situation. He also said that he had not spoken to Putin. U.S. and Ukrainian officials warned again this week that severe economic sanctions are on the table against Russia. Guys, these sanctions has been around for years. They haven't worked in the past, so why do they think they don't work now? I mean, come on. We all know that they're not going to work. Okay? So on to our next favorite country. Iran nuclear talks break. Europe, U.S. dismayed by Iranian stance. Guys, I do not trust Iran as far as I can pick them up and throw them. I really and truly don't. Let me see something real quick. Okay. We're still on air. Okay. Iran does not seem to be serious about reviving deal, said Blinken. First talks since election of hardline Iranian president. Iran demands sweeping changes to negotiated text diplomats. European officials expressed disappointment and concern. Talks to resume in the middle of next week, envoys say. And this is once again, this is actually off of Reuters. So this is December 3rd, which is today. Indirect U.S.-Iranian talks on saving the 2015 Iran nuclear deal broke off until next week as European officials voiced dismay on Friday at sweeping demands by Iran's new hardline government. The seventh round of talks in Vienna is the first with delegates sent by Iran's anti-Western President Ibrahim Raisi on how to resuscitate the agreement under which Iran limited its nuclear program in return for relief from economic sanctions. I do apologize for sounding stuffed up. Rossi's election in June caused a 5-month hiatus in the talks, heightening suspicions among U.S. and European officials that Iran is playing for time. Excuse me. While it's advancing its nuclear program. Iran right now does not seem to be serious about doing what's necessary to return compliance, which is why we ended this round of talks in Vienna. U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken told the Reuters next conference. If the path to a return to compliance with the agreement turns out to be a dead end, we will pursue other options, he added without elaborating. Diplomats said that the Iranian delegation had proposed sweeping changes to a text that was painstakingly negotiated in previous rounds and that European officials said was 70 to 80% finished. Over 5 months ago, Iran interrupted negotiations. Since then, Iran has fast-forwarded its nuclear program. This week, it has backtracked on diplomatic progress made. Senior officials from France, Britain, Germany said in a statement, adding that Iran was demanding major changes to the text. It is unclear, however, that these new gaps can be closed in a realistic time frame, they added. The three European powers expressed disappointment and concern at Iran's demands, some of which they said were incompatible with the deal's terms or went beyond them. The 2015 agreement imposed strict limits on Iran's uranium enrichment activities, extending the time that it would need to produce enough fissile matter for a nuclear bomb if it chose to at least a year, around 2 to 3 months. Excuse me. Most experts say that period is now shorter than before the deal. Of course it is. Look at how much money the U.S. sent them. I shouldn't have said that. Blinken warns Chinese leaders over Taiwan. This thing will quit buffering. As global crises mount. U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken told Reuters next conference on Friday that Chinese leaders should think carefully about their actions towards Taiwan, warning of terrible consequences if China perpetuates a crisis across the Taiwan Strait. In an interview, Blinken addressed multiple foreign policy changes facing the administration of President Joe Biden, including faltering efforts to repair the 2015 Iran nuclear deal, Russia's military buildup near Ukraine, and the spiraling conflict in Ethiopia. Most acute may be China's increasingly aggressive posture towards Taiwan, which Beijing claims as its territory. Taiwan's defense minister has said tensions with China are at their worst in more than 40 years, adding that China will be capable of mounting a full-scale invasion by 2025. Asked if China was going to invade Taiwan, Blinken said that would be a potentially disastrous decision, repeating Washington's position that it's resolutely committed to making sure Taiwan has the means to defend itself. Excuse me. Guys, with everything that's going on, you have China versus Taiwan, you have China versus India, you have India versus Pakistan, you have Russia versus the Ukraine, the UN, and the US, you have Belarus and Poland. I mean, this could very well pop off at any time. You know, I hate to say it, but we could very well possibly be looking at World War III. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying that it very well could be. And we know that with all these nuclear armed countries that most likely, it will go towards nuclear. So we definitely need to keep an eye on this. Belarus says it will retaliate against sanctions, faces unprecedented pressure. Moscow, this is from Moscow. Belarus said it would retaliate after the U.S. and its allies imposed sanctions against dozens of individuals and entities there, and it complained that its economy was facing unprecedented external pressure. Well, where'd the rest of the article go? That is literally all that one article says. But like I said, guys, keep your head on a swivel. Stay prayed up and stay prepped up. As I said a while ago, I did go and buy some payday preps, for me and my daughter and my son-in-law. And both of them are going to be working out of town. And separately, one will be is working on becoming a correction officer, and the other one works at a convenience store the next town over. And, I want them to have a way to get back home, in case, it comes worst to worst. But, all right, I'm going to go ahead and end it. I know I wasn't on long. But please be sure to subscribe and like and share, so, we can keep the channel going. I appreciate you guys. Y'all have a good day, and I will see y'all tonight. Don't forget Tribes Live is at 10 p.m. Eastern. And I'll see you guys out there. Peace out.